Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and we bring you the latest in everything cool every single day. I am still on the beach in beautiful Southern California and having a great time. I am headed back to the studio very soon, but in the meantime, I want to remind you that the Rundown is brought to you by our buddies at the VFS School of Game Design. Thank you so much, Vancouver Film School. Now, this rundown is dedicated to Donnie S. Swangor, who has been a supporter of EP for a very long time. Thanks for the love and support, and happy birthday, Donnie. This rundown is all yours. You might have a date with Destiny, but you're not the only one, because we've got a date with Destiny 2. Activision and Bungie unveiled the first gameplay footage and loads of other details about Destiny 2 at a special event yesterday, which we were lucky enough to attend. The biggest change, apart from all the new weapons, gear, and environments, is that the developers are overhauling the way you do missions and interact with other players. When you're exploring a location, new side quests called adventures will be available, and your map will now display areas of interest that you might want to explore as well. If you need a friend to explore with, Bungie is building clans right into the game, making them easier to create, and there's also the new guided game matchmaking feature, which helps you find players of similar skill levels to do missions and raids with. Those are all pretty cool features, but here's something that might leave some players disappointed. The game's story begins with your character narrowly surviving a devastating attack, so none of your hard-earned weapons or gear from the first game will carry over. Bungie says they're doing this because they want to give new players a clean slate.
Destiny 2 is definitely meant to be a fresh start for everybody. Okay. So we really wanted to have a moment of convergence for our community. So players who have been enjoying Destiny, we wanted to give them that opportunity to really start fresh together and have that amazing climb of progression, that sort of power from loss to full recovery. But at the same time, we wanted that moment to converge with new players and bring new players in the fold so that they didn't feel like they had to catch up.
You can watch the rest of that interview by clicking the link below this video. We certainly appreciate that Bungie wants to put new players on an equal footing, but this directly contradicts a promise that they made when the first game came out. Back then, they said that they were hoping to allow your progress to carry over in future sequels. So this is going to leave some players disappointed. There are going to be a lot of new players, though, because unlike the first game, Destiny 2 is coming to the PC. Publisher Activision has partnered with Warcraft developer Blizzard, so in a surprising move, the PC version of Destiny 2 will only be available on Blizzard's Battle.net distribution platform. You might have to wait a bit for the PC version, though. The console versions arrive September 8th, although Bungie hasn't decided when the PC version will arrive, so it might be coming a little later. We'll have plenty more as new intel comes in. And Destiny isn't the only big game getting a sequel. French developer Don't Nod Entertainment has officially announced that they're working on a sequel to their 2015 episodic game, Life is Strange. They haven't said exactly when we can expect to be playing it. All they've said is that it's coming, and they're looking forward to sharing more details soon. Publisher Square Enix has confirmed that the game will not be at E3 next month, so maybe we won't be seeing it too soon. Although the team has hinted in the past that they're working on a sequel, this is the first official confirmation that it's on the way. The original Life is Strange focused on a teenage girl named Maxine who has the ability to slow down and rewind time, giving players a fresh new game mechanic that leads to countless branching narratives depending on what events you decide to change. It received rave reviews and was a big commercial success, so it's not too surprising that a sequel is on the way. We can't wait to find out more. Get ready to sink your teeth into a much deadlier episodic adventure. Telltale Games has announced that the fifth and final chapter of The Walking Dead: A New Frontier will be available on all platforms starting Tuesday, May 30th. Ominously titled From the Gallows, the final episode will see the group of survivors struggle to escape Richmond, Virginia before it falls to the undead, and Telltale promises that the story will come to an epic and bloody conclusion. The studio also says that the final chapter will have even more emphasis on player choice and the previous decisions you've made than in their other games. The dead won't be put to rest for a while because Telltale has hinted that they'll be making more Walking Dead stories in the future. High-tech performance capture and computer animation are pretty cool, but good old-fashioned puppets are making a comeback. Netflix is joining forces with the Jim Henson Company to create an original series based on the 1982 puppet movie The Dark Crystal. The new show will be called The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance and take place before the events of the film, with all the practical effects and puppet mastery that made the original so cool. The new show is already in pre-production and is expected to begin shooting soon, which means you'll be able to start streaming it later this year or early 2018. We think it's pretty cool that a modern streaming service like Netflix would want to revive an older technique like puppetry, and we can't wait to see what the Jim Henson team can pull off this time around. And when you're using Netflix or other online services in the U.S., things might be getting a lot slower. The U.S. government's Federal Communications Commission, or FCC, has voted to repeal Obama-era rulings protecting net neutrality. Before, internet service providers had to treat all websites equally, but now they can create slow lanes for websites they don't like, which essentially gives them, not the public, the ability to pick winners and losers online. This is especially problematic when you consider that America's biggest internet service providers are part of corporate conglomerates that create their own streaming content, which gives them the ability to slow down their competition. Those same conglomerates can now also slow down news websites that report on stories they don't like. Needless to say, the FCC's ruling is very unpopular, and big online entities like YouTube, Netflix, Wikipedia, Facebook, and Google have vowed to fight the ruling in court. Expect a lengthy battle. Well, that wraps us up for the Rundown today. Thank you so much for watching. If you are interested in game design, remember to visit our good friends at VFS.edu. I'll be back in the studio on Monday with a brand new episode for you. But in the meantime, click around on some of our other content, and if you dig it, hit subscribe, okay?